Welcome to the Missouri Woods and Water Podcast with your hosts tonight, Nate and Micah. How we doing, brother?
Where's my niece? She gone?
Yeah, she finally went upstairs. Could you guys hear in the episode? Like, I was trying to mute. Like, could y'all
No,
hear him at
I
all?
heard like one thing one time, but I thought it was maybe at their place.
I was trying to mute it because, like, down in my basement, like, as you can see, like, it's not insulated. So you hear, like, every footstep. Drives me
Yeah.
nuts. Like, trying to tell my wife, be like, yell at them kids. Like, tell them to sit
Tell
still.
them kids to shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, this is our second straight Tales of the Chase episode in a row.
Probably
I
gonna
know
have
we've
another
got another one. Huh?
Probably gonna have another one.
Probably gonna. I already know we had to cancel Mondays. Our guest had a sick kid, and he was gonna try to come on, and I'm like, "There's no need.
Yeah, don't worry
Don't
about
worry
it.
about it. We'll
get
get it next week."
Yeah.
Um,
You killed
and
him
so
already, okay?
He's already
You can
dead.
tell the story anytime.
But yeah, so today's episode we have Landon and Brady Stockman with Triple Beam Outdoors. We've had them on the show before. Friend of the show. They're down in the Jeff City area.
Good dudes.
Good dudes. Landon gets it done in Kansas this year, way back in September. It's basically the first one that I remember seeing this year, and I was
Yep.
just excited to check it out. So we've actually had them kind of on the radar for quite a while, and I've texted Brady back and forth and never could get schedules lined up, and then we finally got it lined up tonight. So they tell the story of Landon's success after a cursed Kansas for like 5 years. Landon gets it done during early muzzleloader season out there in Kansas. So it's a
Yep.
cool story. And just like the hunting they talk about is so different than what we're used to.
Oh yeah, Kansas. I mean,
Like
it sounds like
stalking.
they're
Yeah.
it sounds like they're in that real flat area too, which is just it's crazy to me. I'd love to go over there sometime and experience that type of hunting.
Yeah, that'd be fun. But yeah, let's do our sponsors real quick. It's a good long episode, so I don't want to keep everybody too long on the intro here. Let's start with OnX. Use our code MWW20, 20% off. Got to go to the website. Excuse me, not hard to do. Save 20% on the elite plan. They were talking about OnX during the show on finding drainages and I'm sorry, they weren't talking about it. I'm imagining it.
They were.
Especially out there, like using that 3D feature,
Yeah,
just finding the little differences have got to be big out there. So check them out. Huntworth Gear. Use our code MWW15 for 15% off. Used the Silent X this last 3 days ago.
when it was cold.
Yeah.
It was nice, man. I used it too.
Yeah.
That stuff is money.
Yeah. And then the next day it was like 35 degrees in the morning and I was going to sit all day. This was yesterday.
Yeah,
And by the time it was going to be in the evening, it was going to be 60 some degrees.
yeah.
So
What'd
I'm
you go
like,
with?
okay, I just went with my regular pants, pants, and then I wore my hoodie, my Shelton hoodie, a vest, and then I brought my mid coat just in case I got a little cold in the morning. I never put it
Gotcha.
on. And then I ended up taking my vest off about noon, and that was that for the day. So
Nice.
check out Huntworth stuff, that new Silent X, Silent X is just to make things more quiet. Still heat boost technology.
Heat boot. Yeah,
Still Morel Targets.
Windproof, all that. But yeah,
Yep.
Morel Targets.
MorelTargets.com. Check out all their different offerings. They got bag targets, hard foam targets, a few 3D ones. The Transformer Buck is actually one of my favorite 3D targets, and that's kind of the only one I know that they've got too. So check them out. Reveal Cameras by Tacticam. This is one of those times where I really don't like the fact that we have cameras.
It makes you second guess a lot of stuff. Well, here's the thing. It's I'm going to ask this question another one, but when you're hunting multiple properties and multiple bucks, it's hard.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to make a decision sometimes.
Which, we're bitching about having multiple options, right?
Sure.
But like yesterday, you and I were texting during my all day sit. My wind had shifted just for about half an hour, and it shifted into the thick timber that I didn't want it going in. And I'm like, shit, should I leave? Blah blah blah. Well, you had mentioned maybe leave, and about that time, it changed back to where it was supposed to be. So I'm like, nah, I should be all right. Well, 4:45, the big buck we have on another property, daylighted for the second night in a row in the same spot. And
Shooting
I'm
light.
like, son of a bitch. Yeah, shooting light. Like 45 minutes left still. I mean,
Yeah, pretty early.
and I don't want to explain the property too much, but it's like it's a weird spot that he's doing this at.
He's hard to
And
get to.
if you can get in there, like if he's going to come out, you're going to kill him.
Yeah.
So I tried it tonight. I actually got kind of lucky. The farmer was spraying their fields, which I have a headache now from that, FYI.
Nice.
But they were spraying their fields, and so I used the tractors running the sprayers as cover for my noise. And dude, I got in there and I'm like, if he comes out, like you know the setup I was in, you know where I was sitting basically, and
Yeah.
like if he came out, he was gonna basically walk right to me. And
If he did the same
guess
thing
what-
he did the last 2 nights, not a damn
and
deer.
guess what he did not do?
Didn't do it.
He did not do it. He did not show up, and he still hasn't shown up. So that asshole. But anyways, but reveal cameras. You know, at least we know he's around. He's alive. Habitat works. Give our buddy Dustin Williams a call. 816-752-7390. Great with mapping, planning, TSI, fire planning. He's a big proponent of fire, obviously. Got it done himself with his first buck in a while, I think. He's so busy working all the time. But give him a call. When it comes to habitat, there's nobody better.
Right.
And let's see, Athlon Optics this weekend, which by the time everybody hears this, the opening weekend of rifle season will have already been done. But when I was hunting today, there were 2 different people shooting their rifles on different sides of me. So everybody's getting ready for this weekend. This will be the first opening weekend that I will not be hunting almost at all.
All of it.
So
Yeah,
I get to hunt
you
Saturday
get a few
morning.
hours. Yeah, you get a few hours.
And my wife played. Well, here's the thing. Because we're going this weekend, she has let me hunt my ass off the last 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
So I can't really complain that much. Plus, I do have all week and the next weekend. It's just weird because I've never like missed an opening weekend of rifle season, and
Right.
technically I'm not missing everything, but it's gonna be weird. But Athlon Optics, everybody get their scopes on their damn guns and get them sighted in, and then Huxworks. My gun will have a Huxworks suppressor on it. I know yours will as well.
Excellent.
I can tell you. Is yours next to you?
Not my Hux works, but my rifle is, and I was
Nice.
doing some other things. But that's got the Huxworks deal. Huxworks
Yeah.
will be
On
honored
it.
come Saturday.
I can tell you this much: the 2 people sighting the rifles in tonight were not using suppressors.
Foolish of them.
The dude to the south must have been using a small cannon because that thing was loud. But anyway, that's just the sponsors for tonight. Appreciate them all. They're awesome. December
Let's get
6th.
into the show.
Nope, not yet.
Oh
Not
yeah,
yet.
yeah.
December 6th
Just,
is our coyote season kickoff party at Broken Dollar Saloon in Odessa, Missouri. I just put the order in for a new batch of hats. So we will have a handful of hats there for sale.
koozies.
Probably will be-
Koozies. We're gonna hand out
Koozies.
koozies. Yep.
Yep.
We got
Hats.
koozies ordered.
hats
we
you can
bought a
buy
gun.
hats for $25. And we bought a gun, and so we will be giving away a gun also. Is it a what caliber?
243.
243, yeah.
Yeah. I can't remember all the specs. I want to say it was a Savage Precision.
110, I
something.
believe.
Was it?
Isn't that a Precision 110, I believe?
Maybe. I don't.
243. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a nice gun, so we're giving that away there. We've got a Yeti cooler that Whitetail Properties donated to us to give away. It's a soft-sided Yeti cooler. Our guy Jason Patterson with Whitetail Properties donated that. And then, like I said, we'll have hats for sale as well. We're going to have different colors. We're going to have some with the buck on them, some with the coyote logo. So you can take your pick, and we'll have them there until they sell out. I think I bought 72 hats total. So I know you're going to want to take a hat. I need a hat. So there'll be about 70 hats, $25 a piece, probably somewhere in there. So, and then we might have some more giveaways, but that's what we got for now. So, and we have some stuff on X sent that we're going to give away to people that come to the party. This party is brought to you by OnX. So they sent some stuff to give away.
Shout out to OnX.
Okay. Now we can get into our show with Brady and Landon. This is the Missouri Woods and Water podcast. What up, everybody? We've got the Triple Beam boys are back for another episode. I don't remember how long it's been, but
it's been a while.
This time. Has it been a while? I know it's been a while.
Yeah, it has been. What episode was that?
I don't know. I was crawling around on the floor.
That Spencer was crawling around on the floor. It was.
That's when you.
I do remember.
You killed Deuce and I killed the 5'9".
That was two.
That was the story.
That was 2 years ago.
We killed
So
them back to back.
It had to be in the 90s or the hundreds, probably. I would say.
I don't really know. Yeah, was that right around the time you guys were starting your show, or had you already started yours?
We were literally about to record episode 1 right whenever we sat down to do that.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yep.
How did we meet each other? I don't even remember.
We were at the Heartland premiere.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
That's right. Yeah.
There it is. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I haven't been to that in 2 years now either.
Really?
That's the worst damn week for me.
Yep. That and the Show Me Expo, good place for everyone to meet up there as well.
Yeah, we need to. Man, I feel bad. We need to try to get a booth this year there, but lots going on in life right now. Y'all are a little younger than us, so you don't have to deal with as many things as we do at the moment with kids and stuff. But you'll understand here in about 10 years what we're talking about with some of the crap we got going on. But anyway, we do have Landon and Brady Stockman with Triple Beam Outdoors with us today. It's going to be our second in a row of probably at least 3 Tales of the Chase episodes. And it's not about Missouri this time, but that's okay. It's the state that sucks to the west, Kansas. But it doesn't always suck. There's some good things.
Doesn't it blow over there? I thought it blows.
Well, it blows or sucks. Why does Kansas suck? Because Missouri blows. Why does Kansas blow? Because Missouri sucks. It's just the same thing. It's a running joke.
Man, Kansas, it definitely sucked and blowed for me for several years. So,
long time. Yeah, I was watching your guys' actually. So just a quick plug for everybody. If you go to Triple Beam Outdoors on YouTube, you can watch the video of this buck that we're going to talk about today, which we'll link in the show notes as well. But yeah, so it's no surprise that there's a dead deer when we do most of the time we do a Tales of the Chase. It ends up in a dead animal of some sort. In this case, it's an awesome Kansas buck. But the story is cool just because, number one, we know you guys. Yours was kind of one of the first ones that we had seen of the season. I don't know I can't remember exactly the date, but I know it was in September, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, probably September 20.
Usually it's like the 23rd to the 26th. Like them
it was before that because I was headed to Tennessee. September 23rd.
23rd.
Yeah. So, it's kind of one of the first bucks we saw pictures of. So it was just kind of natural to be like, oh, look what they did. And we kind of know the background with what's been going on in Kansas with you. So before we start all that, though, because some of our listeners might not listen to you guys yet, and we want them to be able to know who you all are, introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about Triple Beam and what y'all do.
So I'm Landon Stockman, and
Brady
Stockman.
Brother. Spencer's over here to the side.
We're twins.
Not crawling on the ground this time.
No.
No, me and Brady grew up, and we'd always had a really big passion for hunting. And I think as a kid, we always like couldn't wait to get out there, and like you always wanted to grow up fast at that point and hunt by yourselves. And once I hunted by myself for a few years, it was like, man, I just enjoyed having someone else in the tree. Or there was a bunch of times that we'd experience some really cool things, and just, you know, not that no one believed it, but it was like, man, if I would have had that on video, that would have been crazy. And so we kind of started hunting together again and videoing, and just kind of took off from there. And we got a small group of friends, and we do a lot of video and content stuff. And we got a podcast of our own now. So
Yeah, the name of the podcast is the Main Beam Podcast.
Why didn't you stick with Triple Beam?
I don't know. Whenever we were making it, I think I just kind of wanted it to be like something of its own at the same time. And I guess this is the ego talking a little bit. There's like too many people locally here that kind of know, like when they see our trucks driving around, they kind of know, oh, there's big deer in the area. So I'm like, I just kind of like changing it up a little bit. So I changed it up, and I kept the beam in it just to stem off the triple beam part.
Well, you could be
Fair
like
enough.
us and hate your name, so there's that. Remember that.
Hey,
Everyone,
I always said,
at this point, everybody knows I don't like our name. So I mean, it's just a running joke here.
I always said as long as you can talk and you're good people, you could name about whatever you want it to be, and if you got good content, it'll stick.
That's true. That is true. Okay, so I don't know how far back we want to start, but Landon, Kansas has not been good to you.
no, not at all. Turkey season,
Good.
it's great. Deer, not so much. I think we first dipped our toes in it whenever first I drew a bow tag 1 year. A buddy invited us out. Long story short, well, we were just out of high school probably.
Yeah, it'd been probably 2020. I'd say
Um,
2020, 2021.
Kind of to make the long story short, we had lots of encounters with deer. A couple of deer that probably would have been my biggest deer at the time. My buddy just didn't want them killed. They were 4-year-olds, and he was wanting to. They were studs. But he wanted to pass them, rightfully so. And we just couldn't get them deer. It seemed like away from us.
Yeah.
And, everywhere we went, they were right there, and just
Taunting you.
yeah, couldn't do it. I got pulled over, probably doing 100,
Yeah.
and I talked my way out of it though. What else?
Oh, hold on. You talked your way out of a ticket altogether?
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah. We were.
I get a ticket for going 7 over. Come on.
Andy was in a work zone.
Yeah, Andy was in a work zone.
Oh my
Ooh.
God.
We were in Kansas out there, and really, we're in the middle of nowhere, and hell, I didn't even know that there was a cop in that part. And hell, we were running a little late that morning, and I mean, it was a work zone, but no one was working. Obviously, it wasn't like I went through at 5 o'clock or whatever,
Right.
and just haul ass through there. So, hell, it was probably 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't
We had long ways to drive because
yeah, we had a lot.
hotels
Yeah,
out there.
it's so desolate that we were driving an hour or
Hour
better,
or
or
better
just to
every
get to the
day.
spot we were staying. And hell, I was
Keep going.
I was cruising, and hell, to be honest with you, I thought it was like a fire truck or something way behind us. I don't know if I ever slowed down for a while, and they kept getting closer and closer. About that time, I pulled over, and they pulled over behind us, and I don't know how fast I was going, but he never told me how fast I was going either. He just told me that there wasn't a road in the state of Kansas close to the speed limit I was going. So anyway, we got talking.
Be honest. You showed him your tits, didn't you? Just be honest.
Yep. It's all it
It
took.
works every time. But, no, honestly, I just started talking hunting with him. He was like, hey, man, I'm
Yeah.
running late. Like, we're trying to hunt and this and that. And he was like, oh, asked me a few questions. I, told him kind of the area we were in and different things. And
I don't think he even ran ID or anything.
he didn't, I don't know. We got talking hunting. By the end of it, he was like, well, just promise me to slow down or whatever. And I was like, oh yeah, I promise I'll slow down. He said, well, good luck hunting. I said, all right, I appreciate it. And zoom, off we went.
Right back up to 100.
That was kind of, and then I think it wasn't a day or two after that. We came back after an all day sitting out there. We were sitting all day. There's nothing, it's not like you can go back and say, I'm going to get down for a minute and run to town. We're an hour and a half from town. So we just sit all day. We got back and our truck was dead, wouldn't start. And
Oh no.
yeah,
Oh, my.
you got no service, no nothing. And the last thing you want to do is, walk 3 miles down the road and knock on the only person's door in the middle of nowhere. So we were like, hell with it. We're just going to stay in the truck. We ended up getting a hold of a buddy. He come and jumped us. And it just kind of snowballed from there. It was just, we just didn't make it happen. But it was an incredible time out there, that trip. And so after that, we
took a year off, I think.
well, we didn't apply in time for the next year. Got busy, didn't apply in time, so we were shit out of luck that year. The very next year,
Is that when I drew?
you drew. I didn't draw.
Yes, I drew.
You drew, and Brady goes out there. Brady has good luck out there.
I do have really good
Brady
luck.
goes out there, kills.
So Landon's the cursed one. Brady's the blessed one.
Yeah,
in Kansas.
out there.
Well,
sure.
so this year.
Yeah, so Brady got it done pretty quick, and I was like, well, damn, that was awesome. That was easy. And so I reapplied for a tag, drew a tag, went out there, and was probably the biggest drought the state of Kansas has ever seen.
This was 2 years ago now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably. And it was probably the biggest drought the state of Kansas has seen. It was,
Milo failed everywhere.
There was hardly crop in anything. Mainly the only water that you could find was just in stock tanks for cattle. And it was just tough hunting. We hunted for,
I think we went.
5 or 6 days straight and just,
Yeah,
we were likely to see a deer. I think on our last day out there, we happened to go into a spot. They didn't know. Buddy sent us in there. He had glassed a big deer in there during early
velvet.
velvet.
Yeah,
He didn't know exactly how big it is. He doesn't really hang cameras in there because the cattle would rub them off basically the fence posts, according to him.
Right.
So he just didn't really have cameras in there. Sent us in there, and immediately it was like one of them spots we got in there, and it just deer started piling in there. And like, here in Missouri, hunting different places, you see sometimes 10 or 12 deer a night, and it's like, hell, I had a good night. I know not everyone's very, very fortunate, but there's times where we hunt here and I'll see 50 or 60 deer. Out there, seeing a lot of deer is
2. Yeah,
5.
2, 3. Is
So
a lot.
deer started piling in. We had 7 or 8 out in the field with us, and it kind of got to that prime time of 45 minutes, half an hour before the end of shooting light, and I glassed this deer coming out of this
canyon.
Yeah, this canyon, and we didn't have a whole lot of cover, so we were stuck down in this little waterway that had just grown decent milo. And I told Brady, I was like, man, I think this is him. Well, we didn't know what we could get away with and everything. We had so many deer around us. He never actually even
I never
seen the
him.
deer. I was sitting on my basically on my knees or whatever, and my legs started going numb, and I was trying not to move, and it was just uncomfortable. And he just kept coming and coming and coming, and finally,
How far was he when he started? Like how far out?
300 or 400 yards,
400 yards.
And by the time he got to the point that I was like, okay, this big ass deer was, he was 200, and it was starting that low light enough where you're still at that distance. Like, I know he's a big deer, I just didn't know how big. And I basically just watched him in the binos the whole time, and he jumped the fence and he kept coming. And I really wanted to make sure, just hunting with our buddy out there, that like I wasn't make no mistake. It was either going to be, a mature deer, the deer we were hunting. I didn't want to shoot any deer that he obviously didn't want killed.
Yeah, because y'all are, just so everybody knows, y'all are hunting private ground out there.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. We
Yep.
got a connection with a ton of private ground, so didn't want to obviously make any mistake. And once the deer was actually going to pass us up, and I was like, shit. Then it like dawned on me like, shit, I better like if I'm going to try this, I better make it happen quick. And it was down to that last little bit of shooting light, and I just told Brady, I was like, all right, we're gonna have to stand up, and like on 3, we're gonna do it. And I stood straight up, and the deer basically was walking.
It paralleled us.
Yeah, it was parallel walking, and it was gonna just, like I said, pass us up. So we stood up. I put my sticks down, barreled down on it, and Brady was right behind me. And the only thing I heard him say was, "Holy fuck, you better kill that."
Way to make him nervous, brother.
I'm not kidding you when he said, because I have not seen the deer up until this point, and when he's saying, "Oh, big deer," and I'm like, okay, well, he knows what a big deer is. I'm thinking 160, 170, like this is a great deer. And I'm not shitting you. When I stood up and I run 1556 binos. I run ginormous binoculars because I like to see.
Yeah.
And I stood up and he's 40 yards, and I literally threw my binos up, and he took up the whole entire view of it. And I mean, I looked at him, I said, oh my God. I said, you better shoot.
Yeah, so it was 40 yards.
And now this is with a muzzle loader, correct?
Yep.
Is it muzzle loader?
Yep, early muzzle loader.
So
Yep.
the way Kansas like structures their season, they start with like an early disabled youth season, and usually like the first to second week in September, and then it rolls into a 2 weeks of early muzzleloader season, and then it's archery season all the way till December. So you always got this early muzzleloader season here, and it's usually super hot. You think it's windy in Kansas until you go out there in early muzzleloader season and want some wind, and
There's zero.
Yeah, you can hear a pin drop. But anyway, I basically barreled down on this deer, and he just stopped. And a lot of the deer out there just aren't pressured in them areas like they are here, and they just don't know. They're curious. I mean, you can get away with quite a bit, really. And hell, he just
stood there, looked right at us.
Yeah, and took my time, squeezed one off, and it just
How far?
40 yards.
Oh my God!
The primer was the only thing that went off. Basically, just a little cap gun, and he basically
bounded off.
Yeah, bounded off, and
that was it.
That was it. That was our last. That was the last day of muzzleloader for that year in 2023.
And it was weird because we're telling our buddy about this deer, and it's a month later before he gets pictures of it, probably.
Yeah, before he.
So we just have this mental picture in our head of what this deer looks like, and it's a whole month before he gets pictures of it, and we actually know what.
Yeah. So I mean, I knew the deer was big, but I didn't know, all the numbers and how many points he basically had, and so I think it was a month or so. Well, after we basically puffed at him, we said some foul language and walked out of the field, and we were just,
licked your wounds.
Yeah,
dejected.
Tucked our tail, and we had to drive home, and just for going home empty-handed the second time, I was kind of discouraged, and we had a rough time out there with even seeing deer, and this was basically the last hunt, and we just couldn't make it happen. But the biggest thing is, so on an early muzzleloader tag, you can come back and hunt in their rifle season, but you have to use your muzzleloader. So
gotcha.
Their rifle is usually like the
December, ain't it?
Yeah,
first week of December.
First week of December, somewhere in December 5th, 10th, somewhere in there. So anyway, my buddy had texted me though about November, and he was like, "Hey," he's like, "I don't know if you want to see these pictures or not." And I was like, I didn't really know what he was talking about. He's like, "Dude, I got pictures of that deer that you guys had in there," And yeah, he sent them to me, and I was just
Sick.
just sick. It definitely put some salt in the wound. So
Oh, man.
yeah, and
What happened to that? Did that muzzle loader make it home? Like, what did you melt it down and turn it into?
It was 2 seconds away from getting launched in the ditch.
it's lucky it's not in the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I still have the muzzleloader, so it's for sale if you want it.
I don't. It doesn't seem like one that I want to touch.
Well, it'd probably go off for anyone else.
Right. It was just you pulling the trigger. Yeah, I get it.
You got that bad luck.
So anyway,
I drew the
no, we went back out and
Oh, yeah.
we went back out in rifle. We weren't going to go back out for rifle, and I was like, man, I just had the itch that we just make it back out there. But at this point, this deer's big enough that my buddy's like, yeah, you guys ain't hunting. You guys ain't hunting this deer. You know, like that was that was our chance, and it was just like, yeah, you're hunting something else now. So we went back out there. Hell, we were still hunting a big deer though. We had a 6x5 we were hunting,
75
and
deer.
he literally we got into this spot to hunt him, and we seen him for like 2 minutes, and he jumped the fence and stood on the neighbor's side, like 2 or 3 yards on the neighbor's for most of the morning. All he had to do was jump back on our side of the fence, and we could have killed him. And he never did. He just hung around on the neighbors all morning. It's like,
Dang, gotta love that. Gotta love
yeah,
it.
yeah. Out of all things. And anyway, buddy we were with, he's like, yeah, he never does that. Like any other morning, he's down the South Alpha Bottom every morning. No, he happened to be standing on the neighbors. So we watched him go up, and we figured he bed in this wooded draw. Well, my buddy didn't have permission to hunt the wooded draw of someone else's, but he owned basically the ag field that butted it. And so we kind of figured for the evening that since he was bedded in there, that he was probably going to come out, feed down into that ag field. So, man, Kansas in rifle season is a whole nother.
It's almost worse
A
than
whole
here.
nother level. It's just the amount of
Really?
amount of road traffic and hunters that are just literally driving circles around places, just hoping to shoot something out of the vehicle is insane. And
Really?
well, it's kind of rough.
It's the worst I've
It's
ever
kind of
seen,
rough too,
for
because
sure.
here we usually have an agent, at least one agent per county. Out there, they have about an agent per 4 counties. So hell, by the time you call an agent, if he's hell, he might be 3 hours, 3.5 hours long.
Right.
You ain't getting.
Right.
I mean, you ain't getting.
I'm assuming it's illegal to shoot a deer from the road, just like it is here.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But just everybody's driving around, and they don't follow the law.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and it's so open out there, so you can usually see a lot more, especially in the rut. It's no different than here. You drive down the road in the right part of the rut, and you're gonna catch a big deer up on his feet cruising or things different places. So there's just a lot of people just driving around, and we happen to go in this place for the evening, and my buddy's known to kill some big deer as well, and kind of has that reputation. And these guys that own the neighboring place, and honestly, if they would have just went in, set up, and hunted their own freaking farm, they probably would have killed this deer. But instead, they just road hunt everyone else's shit. And they happened to see us in there, which same thing as here. In rifle or muzzleloader, you're
Wearing orange.
you have to wear, orange cap, orange vest. So we were sitting in there, and these guys pulled up on this far road and basically stopped, and we could tell they were glassing us. And they probably didn't obviously know it was us. They probably thought my buddy was in there hunting, and
Right.
just knew that he's usually chasing big deer. So I don't know what they thought, if they figured that like he obviously thinking that we knew there was a big deer in there. But I bet they glassed us for
Probably half hour.
yeah, half an hour, and we were to a point I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm trying to text my buddy, and then like 2 or 3 other trucks roll up. They ended up putting a truck on the fence line between us and their timber, let like 5 or 6 guys out in the timber, and had some other guys circle around. They deer drove the whole block of timber out.
Wow.
And I bet you there was
fucking
30 deer,
Yeah.
40 deer that ran out of there. 2 big deer, that one big 6x5 that we were hunting. And I don't know how there's guys scrambling around with, they all got rifles and trucks, and it's just
it's a cluster.
Yeah, it's a cluster, and as flat there as we are, I'm like, fuck this, I'm getting out of here. I'm not dealing with, these guys are literally damn near like we're dead in line with them. It's like us, the deer, and them. And I'm like, this shit ain't worth it. These guys are if they start shooting whatever, it's so flat, like I'm out. So we got up, and they never fired around. I don't know how they didn't basically kill the deer. They jumped out, they come out in the open, and they had nowhere else to go. They basically we watched them mill around there. And anyway, we got up and walked out of there. Well, the deer happened to circle back around and basically would have walked. If we'd have just sat there, we probably would have.
We would have walked 30 yards.
Yeah, we probably would have killed him. The deer just circled back around and went straight back to that timber. So
after they were done, he just went right back.
Yeah, they just did a circle and right back in there.
That is the perfect bump and dump right there. Except you got up.
if we had just sat there, which we didn't, and I thought, you know what, I'm not dealing with people like this today. We thought about just going and posting basically right back up there, but they probably just went and done the same thing. So we ended up, we got out of there. Just once again, the luck was just not on our side. We hunted 2 or 3 other days. We had like a freaking dust storm blow in one time, and the wind was so strong we were walking out of this canyon, felt like I couldn't even walk out of there. It's so dusty, and you just couldn't see your hand in front of your face, and we ended up going home empty-handed again. So then
dang it,
the next year I did.
Oh, hold on. Do you know whatever happened to the big one?
I can get there, but it comes into play after this. So
okay.
We get out of there. My buddy has that deer. Actually, the big deer that year, his dad ends up. Well, actually, he sent us a video of it a few different times, and his dad. When his dad missed it?
His dad missed it in rifle season.
I think his dad missed it in rifle season, and then he had that deer basically. I think he was like supplemental feeding late season, had him in there basically all the time, and I don't know.
Never got him killed.
They never killed him. Season ended, and he was like, "Oh, I'll find his sheds. He's right here, and whatever." Well, ended up he was too busy apparently to go look for his sheds. And the day that he went he was like, "Oh, I know where they're at. They're, whatever." I get pictures of him coming in and out every day. And I guess he showed up one day carrying both sides, and he showed up that night, and he was, or vice versa, however it was that he was missing both sides. He's like, "Oh, they're right in this area somewhere here." Well, he was going in to look for him that day. Finally got some time, drove out there, and as he was pulling up, someone was walking out with him.
Both of them.
Yeah, had both sides.
On his property?
No, it was on the.
It was just on the neighbors.
The neighbors' wheat field.
Oh,
yeah. And they taped them there on the tailgate because he offered to buy them because we had shot at it and his dad had shot at it, and it was 2 old guys, like mid 80s, real old guys. They'd shed hunted their whole life. It was the biggest sheds they found. And he's like, "Well, can I at least tape them so I know, roughly what the deal was?" They taped them on the tailgate, and with like an 18-inch spread, he was
212.
It was 212.
Oh my god,
212 and some change. So yeah, that kind of stung pretty good on that one. So coming into the next year, I didn't draw.
I had a tag.
Brady draws a tag. So we go back out there. He doesn't really have any early pick. And once again, this place that this deer usually hangs out, he couldn't get cameras in there, wouldn't run cameras. He runs an upground too.
So did you draw muzzleloader again?
Yep, Brady did. Yep.
So when you put in, do you put in specifically for like muzzleloader, archery, or is it just whatever you get, you get?
So we put in specifically for the muzzleloader just because it fits our schedule a lot too. Like it's easy.
Gotcha.
It's so hot here that time of year. It's kind of hard to bow hunt, even a good pattern here.
Right.
Like so, it fits our schedule so well with work because it's easy to go ahead and take off a week, and then we got 2 months till November here, November 15th to take off another little bit to rifle.
It's also nice because you don't really you do more scouting in the morning than anything, and then you don't hunt till the evening, so you can go find a new golf course to play every day, and
do play a lot of golf out there.
Find some fun things to do. But
there you go.
There you go, Micah. There's your new buddies.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, how do I become friends with this guy?
Yeah.
Time
I can
to
play
start
golf and hunt deer.
time to start putting in for Kansas.
Anyway, he draws a tag. I didn't draw. And it is still not a great year. It was very drought year again, but we went out there. He had a big deer to hunt, and
I was blessed enough to that video. We never did post a video because it's that time of year. There's so little action. Like you see so little deer. There's just not much to film. And I think on the fourth day, when the deer stood up, we had walked by him. He stood up in the road ditch. Walked. I think the first shot and again this is with a muzzleloader. The first shot I shot him to probably 175, 200.
Yeah, and he runs right to us. Runs like
dead sprints
15,
right at
15
us.
yards and just stops, stands there.
I reload. Again, it's a muzzleloader. It takes time to reload. Shove powder, bullet down, and he's standing 15 yards. I'm like, well, I don't know how I missed. Well, pull up again. Boom.
Shoots again and he never moves.
Shoot at 15 yards,
Still
deer never moves. Reload again.
I feel like I've heard this. I think you told me this, but keep going. This is refreshing.
At this point, I'm like, well, I've shot 2 bullets. I don't have a third one, I don't think. By the grace of God, I put one in my bino harness. We sat on the ground. I'll have to look at the video. We probably sat on the ground for a minute, and the deer's still standing there going, do you have a bullet? Do you have a bullet? No, do you?
Oh my god!
And I finally reached in. I found the last bullet I had, shoved it down the barrel, put powder in it, whatever. And at this point, I don't know how I'm missing. Well, the hunting the Milo out there, the Milo heads are so easy to hit. Well, I was running bullets to the Milo heads and was just tumbling them. I wasn't hitting them. So
I'm laying on the ground trying to film, saying every prayer that I know.
the last time, the only thing running through my head was I'm hitting Milo. So I said, I'll just spine shoot him. So I put it high back and cocked it back. Boom, dropped him. And I shot at him 3 times and killed him the third shot.
So
it sounds to me like you guys just need to upgrade your muzzle loaders.
So
far, that's what I'm getting.
That's what we did.
That was with the brand new muzzleloader.
Yeah, that was with the new one.
We didn't go back out there without a new muzzleloader that time.
Yeah.
So that was with the new muzzleloader.
Yeah.
And at this point, Landon, thinking about being cursed, well, you're looking at Brady the same. I mean, what are the chances that a deer gets shot at and then runs to you, gets shot at again, and then doesn't do anything? Just stands there.
I think
you just don't ever hear about that.
He hit him the first shot.
I think I hit him the first shot. We just didn't realize it until after.
he run in further too. So this deer bed in the road ditch. So basically, when he shot him, he ran out into the Milo with us, and he just happened to stop at 15 yards for whatever reason right there. Why he didn't move or go anywhere after he shot him the second time, I don't know. And I don't know that if we'd have never shot again, if he would have went down right where he was standing or what.
Right.
He basically stood there. He shot the second time. We have no clue what happened to it. But, yeah, then the third time he definitely.
Or maybe he was doing you a favor and being like, listen, I'm dead. I'm just going to run to you guys, and I'll be close.
End it already.
He'd done us a better favor if he'd have just stayed right by the road ditch.
I figured, yep.
So
Brady gets it done.
Yeah, Brady gets it done on a stud, 160. Basically,
I had him scored at the mid-60s deer.
Yeah, mid-60s deer has this cool, like, spiraling little drop that comes down. So, I'm feeling the pressure at this point. I got no Kansas deer, and Brady's
I'm two
Brady's
and oh.
Brady's 2 for 2. So then I was sitting there this year, coming into this year, and I'm like, watch. I mean, everyone's talking about it. It's harder to get tags. I'm like, watch. I'm not going to draw a tag this year. Like, that'd be my luck. And nope, just so happened I was lucky enough to well, I guess I'll back up just a little bit there. The deer, the 200 showed back up last year, and he blew up like
220s, 230.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
230s.
Oh my God.
So anyway, obviously I ain't got a tag. No one kills him. My buddy and them don't kill him. Anything. So coming into this year, I draw my tag. I'm in contact with our buddy out there, and finally, like, they're getting good moisture. He's like, man, everything's like
Best rain they've had in 10 years.
Yeah, he said best rain they've had, best antler growth in deer that he's seen in 8+ years. He's like, this just like it's looking like a good year. So I'm on cloud 9, and like, honestly, I usually don't get that nervous to even shoot. Like, I get nervous or excited, like buck fever wise, but like usually I can like lock in almost and like, okay, like this is it. I don't really get like the nerves kicking until afterwards. But I feel like this whole, like, once I got a tag, I was just like, man, I felt like I had a monkey on my back. Just, I was so anxious and like nervous to even go. Like this whole it's been a long time coming. So kind of fast forward.
So that the giant, the 220, 230.
Yeah.
He's off limits, basically.
Well, they don't even really know of him or find him back. Even the deer, honestly, they were projecting that he was 9 or 10 last year. And he gets they get so run down from the rut. I mean, the pictures that we have of him from even like a week span, he's just run to nothing.
Yeah, he probably goes from like a 270-pound deer to like 200 pretty quickly.
Yeah, he just gets completely run down. And so we just kind of, my buddy is always like, man, that deer would be lucky to make it through the winter this year, you know? And it's just the deer travel so far in different times. It's hard to relocate different deer, and they're getting older as we are, and so he doesn't spend as much time in a lot of areas as much as he used to with scouting wise and different things. So he kind of, once he finds a deer, you know, that he's has his eyes set on, he's kind of lets everything else go, and that's kind of where he focused most of his time instead of focusing on all the things that he used to. So coming into this year, I mean, we don't know of him. He doesn't know of him or anything that, to my knowledge. He was just telling me, he's like, man, lots of good bucks. Milo looks great. Like, we've had plenty of moisture, good antler growth. Like, it should be a killer year. The deer population also, I'd say, from the first time, we've been out there for 8 years.
I think 6 or 7.
Okay, 6 or 7 years. And I would say right at the time that we started going out there to now, he claims that the population is almost decreased by 40%. Almost cut in half.
It's very, very poor.
Just because of the drought out there.
Sure.
That, and I don't know if it has something to do with, you know,
chronic
EHD, or whatnot, but definitely made it really tough.
It's to the point where they're not even shooting does. We'll say that.
So he used to talk about basically how great it was and things until we kind of got out there, and then it was like, man, it used to be good. So it was just kind of. But this was one of the first years that he was like, man, it's really looking like, you know, not as far as the deer population, but like the bucks and the Matarani. He's like, man, it's looking like it used to. You know, and he's like, we have a few good years like this. It should really bounce back. But we got out there. He sent us in. Actually, the first place he sends us in, he's like, man, I really, you know, want you guys to go into this place and hunt this deer, and it was a big 6x5. He had pictures of him going back into this canyon for the morning. It's a spot that I pupped at the 200. So he's like, man, this would be a great redemption spot. Like, this is going to be awesome hunt, you know. And me and Brady are kind of like, fuck this spot. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you sending us here. So we go in there, and it was just not the rotational crop out there is weird. So, like, you know, here we have a field that's basically either in soybeans or corn. Usually they do 2 years of soybeans, 1 year corn, or, you know, our farmer that we have around here just plants straight beans. We had another farmer on our northern farm that he would just straight corn. But out there, it's like they'll plant a year and then they'll just let it lay fallow for
it idles for a year.
Yeah, for a year or two.
Really?
So, like, the spot we were hunting, really there was no ag there. The ag was actually across the road, but this deer was bedded in this canyon basically. And he's like, man, he was talking this up. He's like, you guys ought to have a really good shot this deer tonight. You know, he's in there. He's going to come out and do this and that. And like I said, keep in mind we got a muzzleloader, and I'm usually trying to, which out there, you know, they're shooting muzzleloaders at.
They got them real nice built muzzleloaders, and they're shooting them, you know, 400 or 500 yards.
I'm looking for 150 yards in end, or, you know, 200 at most. You know, for the muzzleloader that we have one of them nitro fires, and they're very nice. I just try not to sight my muzzleloader in at 300 yards. So
sure,
yeah,
we you know, we're sitting there, and I actually found his camera. They was like, oh yeah, this deer, you know, frequents everybody's camera. His camera's like
probably 350, 400 from us
or whatever. And I'm like, holy shit, like that. You know, I hope he doesn't show up way over there from this spot over here. And man, we seen 2 deer the first night probably.
Yeah.
Like, it was just pretty rough sit. And it was kind of like the same going thing every time we're out there. Like, the week before we show up out there is like
dynamite.
Deer moving everywhere, killer. And then it's like we get out there, he's like talking this spot up, and I end up texting my buddy. I was like, well, it was, you know, we'd seen 2 deer tonight. He's like, yeah, man, I don't know what it was. Like, it hadn't been like this in a week, but he's like, the deer just didn't move anywhere tonight. And I'm like, fuck. I text him back and just like, well, it's probably because we're in the state of Kansas, man. And he's like, no, it happened.
Landon's here. That's why.
Yeah. He's like, oh, it happened, whatever. So we hunted the same spot. He sent us in the same spot, I think 3 nights in a row. It's like, no, man, it's gonna happen. Like, this deer's in here. Gets a picture of him going back to bed in there the next night or the next morning. So we go back in there that evening, and you just don't really. The way we're hunting out there, you don't really hunt in the mornings because the deer are already bedded down, and there's just not a whole lot you can do. It's honestly a very not boring hunt.
It's it can be a very shitty time, because when it's bad, it's bad. Like, it's
like I said,
nothing to do.
Other than going to find a golf course, there's just not. Yeah, there's nothing to do. We talked to the 2 people in town that we knew out of the 10 people that lived there, and there wasn't a whole lot going on.
And truthfully, even like the sits in the evening, like, you don't even really have to rush, because you're honestly hunting the last 30, 45 minutes every night, and that's it.
Right.
So
you're waiting for them to get out of bed and go to feed.
Yep.
Like, that's
basically, you know, typically it's sometimes, honestly, it's better out there just to have it hot as hell, because then the deer have to get up to
go to water
or something. You know, sometimes you get like a cool front, and the deer just seem to. They just seem not to move that time of year.
Very lazy out there.
Yeah.
Very, very lazy. The laziest deer I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, really. So we hunted the spot 2 more nights, getting pictures of him, obviously, to go back to bed in the morning knowing, like, well, he's in this canyon somewhere. Of course, you know, it's not just like one ditch. It's like, oh, he's in this ditch. It's a 1,000-acre canyon. That's like, well, we got pictured, like, he's bedded in there. It's just a matter of, and we know where he's feeding. It's just a matter of him wanting to get up before dark and head that way.
Right.
And it just, in the next few nights we hunted, seen a bunch of turkeys. We had a few deer.
Yeah,
but just
not much.
Not much, honestly. So And it was the same thing every night. Like second sit, it's like, man, didn't see much tonight. And my buddy, same thing. Yeah, well, deer just didn't move tonight again. Man, terrible. It's like, so third night's just literally.
Is this guy jacking with me?
Yeah, it's like the same thing on the third night. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Deer just didn't move tonight. I'm like, fuck this, 3 days in a row now. So yeah.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Yeah. So I'm starting to almost get like, not discouraged, but like, fuck, here we go again. It's like,
and part of it is it's so mental because after this, you go back to a hotel room where you've sat for the past 14 hours or 12 hours waiting for it to get dark. So you spend, during the daytime, if there's nothing to do, we literally go back, sit in the hotel. And
yeah, we met one guy out there, and I just call him Kansas Mike. Honestly, I don't even know how we trust. Well, not that I don't trust him, but like we never met the guy before. Like I said, the town's in the middle of nowhere. The first time we met him last year, we ended up going to like some gun range with him and shooting a Tommy gun and all kinds of shit. He's like, he takes us to his gun range and don't even know the guy. We're basically shooting all his ammo and stuff. Well, anyway, we kind of, stayed in touch with him, and we went and talked to him for a little bit this year. But there's just not a whole lot to do. It's hotter than hell during the day.
What day did we switch it up on finally? The third day or fourth day?
I think the fourth.
I think the fourth day. I think you're
so right. we went in to hunt this
different deer now.
Yeah, this different deer basically. And out of any of them, I was kind of excited to switch it up. The 6x5 was a stud, but this other deer, like just the frame on him, I was like, man, this is the deer I really wanted to hunt. Yeah. The weather was just kind of shitty. So we went in there to hunt that night, and so you want some wind, obviously. It's hard to put a stalk or do anything when there's no wind. I feel like, not obviously hell force winds, but I feel like even around here with a little bit of wind, I typically see more deer. It gives them an advantage in a way,
They feel like they have an advantage because they can smell
exactly. And that's what. That's kind of what I was trying to say. So we go in there, and you couldn't feel an ounce of wind. You could literally.
Yeah, and the Milo gets so loud when there's the wind, you can't stalk.
So we get in this patch, and my buddy's like, I'm gonna ask him like, oh, what's the odds he's in here, whatever. And they just always seem so confident, Oh yeah, we'll kill him tonight. I'm like, dude, I've heard this like I don't know every time, like they're whatever. He's like, oh, if we don't kill him tonight, we'll kill him tomorrow night. I'm like, dude, I don't even know. So we go in there, and we see one little buck.
We jumped the buck that he was running with.
Oh yeah, we jumped the buck he was running with. Well, we thought he was in this on like the far south side of this patch, but we couldn't. Like with the wind and the weather, we couldn't get to where we really wanted to anyway. So it was just more or less kind of like a scouting mission, just to see if we could see him, what he was doing. And he has pictures, so there's like a waterway in there, obviously. So he had pictures of him in there the night before, through the night. And so he's like, I think he's in here. And it starts getting later, and so he just we start walking around in this shit, making all kinds of noise. Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I almost don't want to go any further. Like this is, and we go way further than what I felt like we should have. And then we didn't end up seeing him. We blew a deer out. And then we walked out there, and the whole way out, yeah, we shouldn't have went that far. Like, man,
he kept saying, hopefully I get a picture of him tonight. Otherwise, he's gone. He ain't coming back.
Yeah, he's like, dude, hopefully.
We really fucked that one up.
He's like, hopefully we get pictures of him tonight. He's like, we didn't basically put too much scent or intrusion in there. And I'm like, fuck, man, like, why did we even do that? Like, which it's not. It's not really my, I guess, place to say what we do. I'm just kind of along for the ride and kind of learning the ways that they hunt them out there. But I was just like, man, this is they get a little ballsy for what I would do. But we wait till the next.
Did you text him the next?
I text him the next morning. I'm like, damn, I wonder, if he showed up. So I text him and say, hey, did that deer show up on camera last night? Nope. I'm like, Fuck, like,
Damn
you know, and he's telling me, you know, he showed up on camera every night for the past month. Like, you know, he's like, oh, if he doesn't show up, something's wrong. You know, like he's always here. And well, anyway, out of all things, it's a rainstorm blows in, and yeah, like the state of Kansas never sees a drop of rain, and all of a sudden we have like 2.5 inches or
Yeah, it
some
rained
shit.
a lot.
And he's like, oh man, if it rains, he's not going to want to lay in this mile or whatever. They hate laying in that when it's wet. He's going to go to the neighbors or somewhere else. And I'm like, fuck,
Here we
imagine.
go.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, imagine that. Like, you know, what else are we going to hunt, you know? So it rains, which actually it rained more north where we were at than where we ended up this particular farm. And so actually I think a lot of the rain missed this farm. Anyway, I text him. The deer didn't show up, and so me and Brady are talking. I'm just like, "What is this? Day 5?
Yes,
Probably day
I think
5.
it's day 5.
I mean, it's been rough at this point. So I'm like, shit, whatever. We don't know what we're gonna do. So anyway, he goes, oh yeah, we're gonna go hunt that deer again. I'm like, okay, whatever. He didn't even show up.
Yeah, what a waste of a hunt.
Yeah, so we're going in there and get down there, and I'm like, what do you think the odds are that he's even in this, you know, in here? Oh, he's got to be in here. We'll kill him tonight. He's got to be in here. I'm like, dude, I'm just like,
Hey, at least he's positive.
His,
Yeah.
his confidence is, their confidence is insane.
yeah, especially for me being out there, like their confidence is pretty damn high. So we go in. Actually, we had great wind. That's the only thing that really helped us. We had great wind. So we got in there, and at this point, me and Brady have never experienced really like
Great Milo.
you know, or great like
Spot and install.
yeah, spot and stalk hunting at all. So we got out there and basically got down to the bottom patch where we wanted to be, walked in, and basically we just lay on the ground, mess around for a while. You know, you get in obviously an hour or
Right.
two before, you know, you're really wanting to be there. So we just messed around for a while. And we stood up every now and then, just glassed a bunch of stuff. Didn't see anything. You know, sat back down. We were just sitting there, and Buddy's like, "Well, I better stand up and you know, just glass again." So we both stood up and glassed, and there wasn't anything. But the wind really helped us, and the mosquitoes were so bad out there without the wind that you could have got carried away. Like,
Oh man.
you know, they were terrible. But with a little bit of wind, you know, kept the mosquitoes and everything down. We happened to stand up, didn't see anything, and we were sitting there talking, and we both just happened to look over, and he was standing on his feet. You could just see his rack stand. You know, he just stood up, and he was probably 150 to 175 yards from us.
That's crazy.
And so Brady's like on the ground.
It almost on the video. It almost looked like weeds.
Yep.
You know, like I don't know, barky type weeds that have grown up in the Milo. And then he moved his head, and you're like, "Oh, that's antlers."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it's weird because you would think it would be extremely difficult to see them in that, and you once you see it, it's like, oh, that's very recognizable. Like it's a white rack and a sea of red.
Yeah.
But it was funny because they're standing up, and the Milo, you can tell in the video, the Milo is like neck high. Well, whitetail are a lot shorter than what they look. You know, they're only 36 to 45 inches tall on their shoulders when they're standing. So the only thing you can see is their antlers. Well, I'm tucked on the ground with the camera equipment, and I look at our buddy, and he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I'm like, "Well, I don't want him to see me, so I'm staying on the ground." He goes, "You can literally just stand up and film him." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, we were far enough away, and like you said, you can't see nothing but antler. You know, even his eyes and everything are below
Below the Milo.
Below the Milo. You know, he can't see very well, and obviously he's just content out there feeding. He just stood up. Well, we decide that we're going to try to put a stalk on him. The wind was we had great wind, but it was kind of iffy of like,
it was very quartered.
Yeah, it was very like quartered. We were kind of above him almost, and we couldn't really like dip down below him. So we started to put a stalk on him. I feel like I was trying to say earlier, I was just so basically nervous or anxious at like shit, like all this whole time, and like okay, there he is, and I just was like, man, it took me a while to kind of like talk myself down. Like the whole time we were putting this stalk on him, I was pretty yeah, I was kind of a mess. But finally, we got to like, it probably took us half an hour, and we closed the distance to about 80 yards. And my buddy asked me one time, he's like, "Oh, can you kill him there?" And I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I could try." I stood up, folded out my shooting sticks, and barreled down on him, and I was like, dude, I can't see shit. Like the only thing I can see is antlers. Like I can literally not see anything. And he's like, okay. So then we went a little further, and I think we, got to like 60-ish yards. And he's like, what about now? So same thing. I fucking stand up, barrel down. I'm like, dude, how do you expect? Like, no, I can't see shit.
I don't know where he is. Yeah.
And he's like, you can't see his neck or anything. I'm like, no, like the only thing I can see, and obviously you guys have seen the video, the only thing you can see is just antler. It's like, all right. So we get down and we go a little further, and we get about probably 40 yards out. And
close.
Yeah, we're real close at this point. And I basically stand up, go to barrel down again. And I'm like, dude, I don't know if I can make this shot from here. Like I just literally cannot see anything. He's like, well, can you see his ears? I'm like, I mean, here and there. He's like, well, you might just have to imagine where his neck is. I'm like, dude, I'm not no way. Like, and I mean, this is their style of hunting. So a lot of times in this stuff, they just shoot him in the neck. I'm just like, dude, right. I just don't want to. I don't want to take that chance or do that, and which they're very good at it, but that's just their way of doing it. And the last thing I wanted to do, a lot of times, basically the way they do it is, and they're comfortable doing it, they'll whistle at them or get them to really like stretch their mane,
right,
and then they'll shoot them in the white patch. But the last thing I wanted to do was try that, and obviously when he's just content eating and stuff, he doesn't have his head stretched up looking, and I'm just like, man, I can't do it. So we got back down, and how this goes on for like an hour from like the time we seen him to the time we get there. And at one point we finally were like probably 10 rows out. And once again, fucking stand up, barrel down. I'm like, dude, this ain't gonna work. Well, then he kind of starts like walking to us and stuff. And I mean, it's incredible being on the ground. I've reaped turkeys and stuff, and that's an adrenaline rush. But like being on the ground with a giant whitetail in this, that distance is like, it was insane. He's like walking at us, and then he stopped for a few times. And at one point, I thought he was just going to basically walk to us or like cross rows, and he never did. So we were sidestepping rows, and it's all you can do is pray. Not, I mean, you can't do it silently. Crossing the Milo rows, it's so noisy. Excuse me. We crossed a few rows, and finally we got like 4 rows out. And he thought maybe I could, like squeeze one between at that point, and just still couldn't. And I ended up getting like two rows out from him. And my buddy's like, just sidestep another one. And so we got to like basically 1 row out. Like he was in the row next to us, and we were in this row. And he was telling me, he's like, well, he's like, just wait for him to pick his head up there. Well, he was like fucking messing with some kind of bush or those like tall, barky weeds you were talking about. He was basically like, come to find out, he was basically like making a rub on one of them, or he was messing around with it. Well, he had his head down the whole time. I mean, I could see his antlers pretty clearly on the row I was in, but my buddy was like, just step another row over, but when you do, like, you better be ready, because he's gonna be onto you, or like you better make it quick. So the last thing I was thinking is, fuck, I don't want to like try to drag my sticks over, and I'm like gonna have to rush it. And so I was like, I'm just gonna wait, because I mean, we're 1 row to the side of him. All he's got to do is take 2 steps and be in our row and I can kill him. This goes on for like 5 minutes. And finally, my buddy's like, literally just step over into the next row. So I was like, okay. So I stepped over. I got over into the same row as he was, and he had no clue. He, like I said, he was messing with his bush. And my buddy was like, "Oh, just wait for him to pick his head up." And I said, "I'm gonna body shoot him." And he told me, he said, "Fuck no, you ain't." He said, "I don't want to have to track this thing." And I was like, dude, I'm gonna body shoot him, and which he was kind of quartered away, away from us, which he's filming, so he's kind of like he's standing between rows, and he's like, "There's no way you're gonna body shoot him." He's like, "You're literally looking at like that's his ass," and I'm like, "No, yeah. I can see his opposite shoulder," and he's like, "Well, if you can see his opposite shoulder, whatever, then kill him." So I. He was quartered away, so I shot for the opposite shoulder, and we were 30 yards, 25, 30 yards. And so I squeezed one off, and he basically bounded up through the Milo, and my buddy's like, "Did you hit him?" I was like, "God, I hope I did." I mean, we were literally right there. And
no one knows at this
luck,
point.
I probably didn't.
First I'm like, damn, I don't know. Like, don't put that on me. I'm pretty sure I did. And so he bounds a few times. You can see the blood. And then he's like, "Oh, man, you smoked." Like, you see the blood pouring out of him. And he runs, like, right at Brady. Basically, whenever we had spotted him from where we were, we decided, like, we don't have enough wind. There's no way 3 of us are going. Like, there's only, 2 of us going. And he had asked us, he's like, "Do you 2 want to go? Or, you want me to go with you?" And I was like, "I'd rather you go with me. I mean, if me and Brady go,
we don't know what the fuck we're doing."
Yeah, either that or we're gonna, if we fuck it up or, we're going to question what's going to happen. So I like his confidence of like, "Hey, yeah, okay, you know what you can get away with," because I wouldn't try some of this shit. So we, after shooting him, he runs damn near right towards Brady. When we lose him, he kind of goes up this little hill a little bit. And so he's instantly like, "Reload your muzzle loader," this and that. And I was like, fuck, I'm pretty sure I killed him. We reload and everything. And we just run over there. Well, I do know what he's saying with why he doesn't want to track deer is because it's literally a needle in a haystack out there. Like the Milo is so dense or so thick. Whenever you're standing up walking through that, you literally can't see anything. And so his point is,
well, and it's like a brownish red.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, you're probably not seeing blood.
Right, yeah.
And it's not like he's laying in an open, hole in the Milo. Like he's a big body deer, but they get tucked in them like them rows of Milo, and it's literally like you can't see them. So we walked up there and basically kind of had a pin of like,
I watched him stop and go down. And I still couldn't.
Yeah, Brady claims that he watched him basically lay down, and we got up there and we couldn't find him. We walked around aimlessly, and finally we're like, we got to go back to, where blood's at. Well, it's starting to get dark at this point, and the worst part is too, and which I understand his point is, which we're pretty confident, obviously, that the deer was dead from the video. But I see what he's saying is like the last thing you want to do is walk up on a wounded deer in a Milo patch like that because you're going to be face to face with them, and shit. That's the last thing you want to do with a big deer is be right there in their space. So
right.
We started tracking blood, and obviously he was really dumping it out. But even then, I mean, how we tracked him, 140 yards, probably 150 yards, basically back to where we came from. And whenever we finally actually like walked up, and I knew like I was getting really anxious because I knew like at one point like shit, we got to be within 10 yards of him. Like he's here somewhere. And we went a little further with blood, and it's like still didn't see him. About that time, it was just like, oh, well, there he is, and we were literally, we were stepping on him pretty well. So
right.
Yeah, man, it was a feeling like no, to finally have that, finally end all the bad luck, and let alone the deer that we killed out there. It was a pretty special hunt. It was honestly one of my favorite hunts that I've ever, just being able to put a stalk on him like that, and how it all played out was by far, I couldn't have asked or wrote it up any better.
And I mean, truthfully, the deer was like, as far as ground shrinkage goes here, both of them that I've shot out there and that one has not shrank any. Like, I get up to them and I'm like, oh hell! Like, I don't know if it's because you're
that's as big as I thought it was.
Yeah. No, whenever we were there, which this deer, which people I guess will see the picture, had a hell of a frame to him. And yeah, it was definitely at the time. Well, it's my biggest deer, so taped him out at 176 and 7/8. So,
That's a stud, dude.
and 2 inches bigger than my biggest. So
That's awesome.
You said, but dude. So the curse is over.
Yeah. The curse is over, and it was like all of them bad times that we had out there was finally like, okay, this is.
But now that the curse is over, it's funny because just if you want to get to that point already, just to fast forward to the 200.
Oh yeah. We made it back home, obviously, and we were sitting. Hell, it wasn't. But we were back 3 days.
Yeah, we were probably back 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, we were probably back 3 or 4 days. Wasn't long. We were sitting actually at a buddy's house. We call it family dinner. A few of us get together usually Sunday, especially like during the summer, early time of the year, and we barbecue or something, just get ready for work and just kind of bullshit. And I had my horns there, and I'm sitting there and I'm scrolling through my phone, and this picture pops up, and I'm like, on social media, and I'm like, fuck, that's a big ass deer. And the more I got looking at it, I'm like, man, I think I know that deer. So anyway, I flipped back through like trail cam pictures of it, and it was undoubtedly that deer. So
and he blew up again.
Yeah, and he put some inches on again.
Yeah, it's probably an 11 or 12-year-old deer, blew up again. He's probably high 30s.
Yeah, he's
probably high 230s.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane.
I'll send him.
Yep, undoubtedly, that deer. So,
somebody killed him.
Yep.
Yeah, I ended up texting my buddy out there and was like, dude, this is that deer. And then it was kind of we won't get into it, but it's kind of a weird.
Yeah,
situation.
We can talk off air about it.
Yeah, we have some questions.
Yeah, weird kill maybe. Yeah.
We have some questions, but
yeah.
Well, big ass deer make people do weird things.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Sure.
So definitely, without living out there, it's something that I can't. Not much I can do about it, but definitely a weird situation.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Yep, that's a big deal.
It was funny because we're sitting there eating and we're going back and forth and everyone's freaked out. Oh my God, no way, whatever. And we're looking at pictures of it. Well, I had actually DM'd that kid that killed it. Before we had even went out there to hunt. So this is flashback 6 years. I had messaged this kid because I'd seen his Instagram. I said, hey, we're coming out in a couple months or whatever to bow hunt, this and that. We were talking about camera equipment or something. And so it was funny when it popped up. I was like, no way. I'm like, I've talked to this kid before. So, yeah, it was.
That's crazy.
Small world. But, yeah, he, man, it was a hell of a deer. So.
Yeah, that is. That's nuts.
That is. That's a beast. Well, so that story's over too.
Yeah,
that one's not.
It all ended this year. So
yeah,
starting fresh next year.
Things might be looking up. Besides the Orange Army coming in this weekend, that's never.
Well, hey, that's what I like about these Tales of the Chase episodes is. It's just some people have a hot streak going. Some people feel like they're snake bitten. Some people have been, like the guy we had on last week is, our new border brother. And, he got his first archery buck, or his first buck, actually, first archery buck as well. And our trail cams caught all the aftermath. Trail camera, one single trail camera caught all the aftermath, and just that's what makes these stories cool. Is everybody's in a different spot in their hunting career, whether that be they're on a heater or man I can't kill anything in Kansas, snake bitten, whatever. The stories tell themselves because everybody can relate to that in some way, shape, or form.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. And I feel like it doesn't matter, how good of a hunter you are. At some point, if you hunt long enough, like, man, you're gonna get in them slumps, and you just kind of gotta tuck your tail and keep going. And at some point, and I think a lot of it where it basically the curse kind of continues in different times is whenever you sit there and it's like, man, my luck's not been good, this and that, and then all of a sudden you turn around and there's a giant standing there, and you're not ready, you're not prepared, and it just kind of a snowball effect. But sometimes it's kind of hard to get out of them slumps.
Yeah.
But the only thing you can do is just keep your hopes high, and
keep grinding.
keep grinding out, because at some point it's going to change.
Yeah, that's true. Well, guys, first off, Landon, congratulations.
Thank you.
Secondly, tell everybody how they can go watch this video. And I don't know if you guys have talked about it on your show yet, but tell everybody how they check it out on the YouTube and how they can check you guys out on social media and all that other stuff.
Yeah, so you can check the video out on Triple Beam Outdoors on YouTube. It's our latest video. We just got it all thrown together not too long ago. Brady did most of all the editing and thrown it together. Video turned out pretty well. There's a few things, that we could have probably improved on, but there's always room for improvement. It turned out pretty good. So if you want to go watch that, you can find it on our YouTube, our Instagram.
The Kansas Curse,
Yeah.
176-inch Kansas Giant.
That's it.
There it is.
So, you can watch it there. Our Instagram is just Triple Beam Outdoors. So is Facebook.
Through all the socials.
Through all our socials, basically the same. So the only thing that's different is our podcast itself, which is the Main Beam podcast. And, I was kind of thinking, you asked earlier why we changed the name. It's probably because we're kind of a lot of unfiltered on there. And so maybe sometimes we just push it away from our Triple Beam side. We try to be pretty good about all our videos and everything there as, kids and stuff. But our podcast is pretty unfiltered at
raw.
Yeah.
Raw. Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Well, hey, Brady, Landon Stockman, Triple Beam Outdoors, congratulations on a Kansas Tales of the Chase. We'll talk to you guys later.
See you guys. Thank you.
See ya.